All set.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel again. We had to make this video. But it's not just the loss, it's the way we've lost it. I mean, every year this happens, man. No, every year this has been happening. Where there's this such game, one game where you're totally outdone, totally outplayed.
It is.
You just
It's
can't
like
catch a
it's a
break.
must. Yeah,
Mm,
it's like it's a must for RCB to give such a performance, and then then carry on with the rest of the games that we
yeah,
played. This one
before.
game is like it's almost like a guarantee that when a product gets released in the market, right? So they tell, oh, this is guaranteed satisfaction with this kind of performance or this kind of performance. So RCB's USP, one of the USP is one guaranteed this kind of performance where the opposition, even if they don't play well, they'll get a freebie kind.
Freebie sort of, yeah. And this time it was Sunrisers. They got lucky, and credit to them, they did ball well. You
Mm,
can't say they didn't.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, let's before diving right into other topics, I'll have to ask the inclusion of Anuj Rawat in the team.
Yeah.
What is his purpose, and importantly, what's his role as an opener? Opening with
Mm.
Fab. It hasn't been clear at all. What's your take on that?
Except for the one game that he played well against,
Mumbai.
was it CS Mumbai? Mumbai.
Mumbai.
I have not seen him, be be the promising player that everybody in the team, especially the team directors and the coaches have been, raving about him after the buy Anuj Rawat in the auction. I've never seen that kind of an intent from him, because as an opener, what do we want? We want a good start. We want a head start of, get the quick 40-50 runs. Even if he gets 20 of 15, 20 of 12,
No
20 of
problem.
25, it is completely okay, because then at least you're a promising start. But now you have seen this trend in past 3-4 matches now. Top order, the opening pair is not lasting more than 1 or 2 overs. And upon that, we see Maxwell and Shabazz come into the batting during the power play itself.
Power plays
So, I
itself.
mean,
And one
yeah,
more thing, we'll have to talk about Maxwell also. He's just one way street. He doesn't care. I mean, that's how he goes about his game. There's no.
so maybe
It comes up.
maybe
It
that
comes
is
up.
what his defined role is supposed to be. I guess that is what
Hmm.
the team has given him. That you go out there, put pressure back on the bowlers. So during that time, he is getting the good starts. But then again, there also you cannot expect him to play the
All the time.
anchor
True, true.
and also these kind of
Yeah, he's
events.
playing
So
it very
maybe he's playing his
positively.
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's playing the natural games. It comes up. It comes up,
take
and
to take the game to the opposition. How
yeah,
how,
he's
how
doing
long
that.
will we keep adding the pressure on
Yeah,
ourselves
exactly.
rather than soaking it in? He wants to put it back onto the players, and then it was evident that yesterday also he tried. He was the only guy who seemed to
Yeah, he was
try
hitting.
something,
Yeah.
and after that, I did
After his
not
downfall,
see.
there was no hope at all. And also, if you notice about Anuj Rawat, what the left-handers bring in certain their batting. I haven't
The
seen him
flair
play a cover drive or a cut shot. He plays it on the predominant. He's a
charges,
predominant leg side player. That's okay with it.
yeah, and
But
he charges down the wicket. That's it.
yeah, and he doesn't connect it. He doesn't connect it. He charges down the wicket.
Yeah.
He just very aggressively goes about it. Most of the time, there's no
Hmm.
timing in it at all. But then,
Yeah.
what's really disheartening is this pipeline of youngsters waiting for their opportunities. There's Anuj. Rajat Patti there, who's very good, very solid batsman. Then there's Lomror, and there's another under 19 guy who's in the side. They're just waiting for their opportunities. And
Yeah.
Anuj Rawat,
Yeah.
like you said, there's no intent and there's no certain role given to him. Opening, especially that 200 chase against CSK, we
Oh,
would
that
we
was
would have won the
horrendous.
game if not for a very
Had they
poor
gone, had
opening
had
start.
both Faf and Anuj Rawat gone harder at the top.
They wouldn't.
But
And Faf, I understand he's trying to substantiate his innings, and he plays a long innings. He picks it up. But Anuj Rawat, being a youngster, he'll have to go from ball one. That's what his role should be. He hasn't been doing.
mm,
There's no intent at all. I know. I don't mind. You can't score runs all the game. We understand that.
yeah,
We've talked about that as well. But like you said, there's no intent. He's just trying to block timing. He doesn't get the timing right. He has to go. I thought they'd flip him this match, but they didn't. Again, there were proper test path dismissals is given them.
mm,
But
mm.
he has to go. He'll go, but he's not the problem. The bigger fish here is Virat Kohli. Go
What
about
do
it.
you say? I mean, it's really disheartening, to be honest with you. It's getting sad now. The way
Yeah, it's from
we
embarrassing. It's
see
gone to sad.
sad. Virat Kohli, arguably the best batsman that we have seen in the modern era right now. Him struggling so much against some of them, not even great bowling, to be honest with you. Not even great bowling, and he's getting out to them.
Not even great bowlers, not even great balls as well.
Exactly. So that is why it makes it even more sad. Now you can't even tell anything. It's like before we thought, okay, this is what he needs to do, this is what he needs to do. But now it completely looks like the patch that every great player goes through. The patch where they are struggling for runs, absolutely struggling for
Absolutely
runs.
struggling.
So maybe Virat Kohli has hit that phase in his life right now.
I think what Ravi Shastri said the other day. I think he's spot on with that. He needs a break. This.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because of that itself, he needs to get a break. He needs to catch a break, and
bubble
then,
life is
maybe
terrible. There is no sugarcoating on that. It's really hard. And he's been playing cricket in the bubble for what, 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
And all the 3 years that he's played, no performance at all. Let's be honest. There's odd 50s in between, but there is no performance. Virat Kohli is sort of a standard performance there. And this year, this cycle has been piss poor.
It's absolutely, you've summed it up properly. Like down the years, it has been not a great hunting for in IPL for Virat Kohli, especially past 2-3 years. And now this year, it's getting borderline sad.
It's getting right sad. Now. It is sad. It is sad to see.
That is the state of affairs. At least last year we saw him play those 35-40s kind of
40 runs, with a bad strike at all bait, but he was around.
At least he played some. But now it is completely off. Yeah,
he's completely off the radar. And what's hurting is that he's playing a number 3 position in how
that was one of the most key positions,
especially in white ball cricket. And he does that. He's like opening up the entire middle order by getting out that early. He's exposing like you said, Maxwell, Shehbaz, and all.
So, so to credit to our middle order, they have pulled us out of some deep shit that they have fallen into. But then again, how much do you expect? The middle order, inexperienced middle order of Suyash, Shahbaz, and these two lads coming up, trying to make up to the mistakes that the greatest of the game have made. Like, for example,
Faf also,
Virat and Glenn Maxwell. So these are the kind of innings where it exposes them completely. The entire batting unit fails as a unit. So maybe this kind of games, it proves why you cannot always bank on stars to make everything.
You cannot. And it's a team game.
Inexperience. It's a team game, so you need to have those combinations, right, where you at least have some sort of stability with your batting lineup or the bowling lineup, maybe, because you generally what happens is everything in cricket, especially in a team sport like cricket, it is more about the partnerships that you build. Got it? Maybe let it be in the bowling department or maybe in the batting department. You see, the capitalizing of the phases is the most important thing. For example, we don't give enough credit to the 2020 Mumbai team because you saw Bumrah is right now struggling in IPL. Why? Because he doesn't have ball to give him the pressure that he used to get. They used to hunt impact. So same thing used to happen in batting also for them. So Ishan used to go well, Rohit used to go, anchor. It was the same thing. So even in our team also, maybe we are facing that difficulty.
That difficult, and that said, also Faf du Plessis has been consistently inconsistent. He's got couple of 90s, but he has been really inconsistent. He hasn't played when the team needed him the most, and top order like
the last game.
Last game.
Except for the last game where he played the brilliant 95.
If he stays, he plays his long innings, but that's another story. Like you said, that intent and that fiery start, like any other team that's been getting, isn't there at all. It isn't there. Despite that, we won 4 games.
That is why CSK was successful last season, because Faf used to play that slowly and then build up
exactly.
his innings. Gaikwad used to go top heavy and used to go with the intent of scoring.
He did that.
Maybe that is what we are missing right now.
Yeah, bowling wise, you just can't. Siraj has been totally off colors. Not even a single.
At least he was coming into his own from past 2 games. Actually, he played well against Delhi.
You can't blame the bowlers yesterday. 68 runs is no defendable.
It's almost like nothing kind of score.
It's a shameless target. And other guy I'll have to talk about is Hasranga. I mean, he's a good bowler. There's no doubt about it. He's got a really good googly, but he's a batsman too, right? The guy who can bat. He
Yes,
hasn't showed
apparently.
any
Yeah,
performances with his bat for the price tag is coming.
exactly. No, but another thing that why Hasaranga looks ordinary for us is because we have been used to Yuzi Chahal.
UCL, yeah,
Because of Yuzi
high
Chahal,
quality.
I mean, it's almost like you're trying to. He's good. Hasaranga is good in his own ways. He
There's no
has
doubt.
those wicket taking abilities and everything. But then Chahal is on another level. I
Level.
believe it's baffling why India did not go with Chahal. They excluded him out of the T20 World Cup. I didn't know. I don't know why did they do that. How RCB decided to let him go is another one of the biggest
Yeah,
blunders that I cannot even comprehend. To be
comprehend.
honest with you, so same thing. So all the RCB fans are looking at Hasaranga with Yuzi Chahal goggles on. So
I mean,
that is how.
yeah, he's balling to replace UCL. If
Yeah.
not, he's been balling. He's been, although economy has been high, he's
He's
been
been
picking
economical,
those
yeah,
wickets.
and
Yeah,
picking wickets, yeah,
but he has to bat as well. He's been bought for a very high price, and yesterday was a really
yeah,
good opportunity to put on
yeah.
50 or 40 balls or something, and then
Hmm.
he goes away. Just I don't know. Is it the mentality or it comes? They've lost the game even before coming onto the field or something. But not even every other season, every season, like you said, there's this match where they're completely decimated. The body language is totally negative. It's just
Yeah.
not happening. Whatever they touch turns to shit or something. Just that.
Yesterday was it looked like a domino effect. Like once the
Hmm.
ball, once the first domino fell, it just kept on going until every one of the team member was
That's
gone for
what.
cheap, like absolute cheap. So that
What's
I don't understand that.
surprising is all the 11 guys. They get to that. They get into that same. Like you said, dog effect.
Yeah,
Everybody
some of the
starts to
dismissals were unlucky. Like for example, Dinesh Karthik,
strangle.
like he
Yeah,
once,
those
yeah,
things happen.
strangled down the leg. Those things happen. If Dinesh was there, there would have been a chance to hit more than 100, 120, I
For
believe,
sure, for
because
sure. He doesn't.
Dinesh is kind of a player where he applies himself to the situation better than most of the batsmen in that particular team, in our team. So it's disappointing to see, but then you cannot tell anything. It's a
Yeah, and
one-off game. Then
then
we write it off.
losses like this, it's not just a single loss. I'll be cool with losing if you put up a
Mhm.
fight, but losses like this will take a
The
big,
way
big
you
hit.
lose it.
Yeah, it will take a big hit on your NRR as well.
Uh, it is. I don't think anything other than 14 plus points is going to secure the playoffs for us this
Yeah,
season,
for sure. This time the
because
competition is.
competition is really good, and you have seen teams coming off the blocks excellently. Some of them are catching up. Look at Sunrisers. First two they lost
Yeah,
horrendously.
they lost
Now
and
they
they're
are
catching
five
up.
on the trot. Yeah, now they are five on the trot. So maybe it's, every, past 2 3 years I've been seeing this with RCB too. They race to some of the games and win five or six on the trot, and then they start losing and
Losing,
getting into such a bad momentum into the going into playoffs. They completely capitulate in
lose
the
it out.
playoffs.
Yeah, they
You've
get
seen
hopeless
last
in the
year,
playoff.
last to
True.
last year, absolutely hopeless. The way we got thrashed in 2020, I remember against Sunrisers, we scored
Sunrises
120. Yeah,
120, and still
120.
we were crossing our hands at some magical things every time we do that to this
Yeah, so
management.
so that is where we are kind of lacking, because of the intent up top in the first few games is looks good, but then once we go into the tournament, we look tapered off, and completely the energy drowns.
What no, let's keep RCB for a sec. What options does Virat have going ahead now? What does he do?
No, to be honest with you, I wouldn't. Obviously, as cricket fans, we need to be worried. Indian cricket fans, especially,
Yes,
because the World Cup is around the corner. But then, these greatest of great batsmen will have this patch, and they always know how to come back. We have seen a lot of people do a comeback and everything. So maybe that is what Virat Kohli needs to do. Go back to the basics. Do the basics right. I am not a person to comment on what he can do as a
yeah, but
batsman, but
yeah,
on the mental aspects of it, maybe he needs to go back to do things that he was doing previously, and try to make it as simple as possible for him, rather than taking the load on. He can take the load off, and then relax himself, or maybe take a break.
take a
Because I'll
break.
tell
Yeah,
you
there's
one
no
thing.
shame in that.
even
Everybody takes a break.
even exactly, even if you love your job absolutely to your best, your body needs that one
Needs
particular
yes,
off time. and maybe it's time for Virat Kohli to use that particular off time and rejuvenate himself coming back into the series. Maybe after
And
IPL, get into a vacation mode for a
what's
few
very
weeks.
fidgety or sketchy is with guys like Virat, management is scared to take any, decisions. They wouldn't,
Yeah,
even if he gets a golden duck next match, they wouldn't take him on because he's their
yeah.
cash cow and all those things. But Virat Kohli, being Virat Kohli, he's
Isn't it
smart.
always the case with all the greatest of players? Like
Hmm.
all of the teams, all of the management, and even the boards of their particular player, they always mollycoddle these kind of players. They come up, they are like, oh no, they are our prestige, they
Marquis.
cannot be dropped. So marquee players and everything. So these are the kind of moments where someone stern, someone steady with his decision, firm with his decision, needs to make a call that, okay, Virat, what we're going to do is we'll give you a break, take your time off. You will not play the next series. What you do is sit back, relax, try and work on your basics if you want to,
Yeah,
and then come back into the team, and then we can go ahead. Because you're see, I'll tell you one thing. There is no doubt that Rohit and Virat needs to be on that plane to Australia, because
yeah.
Australian pitches are something that a
Fast
guy,
pacey,
for
bouncy.
example, yeah, fast pacey, bouncy, and everything. It's not for everyone. It's not for
Yeah,
a young new guy to come up.
you guys to
Imagine
go
if
in.
someone has a good IPL season, and you decide to put him in for his first tour of Australia into the World Cup itself. Got it.
It's going
So
to be
that is where
difficult.
I feel, yeah, that is where I feel experienced guys need to play and back them as much as you can, because experience is there is no substitute for experience. Maybe
For
that is
sure. You
one of the
can't buy it.
most exactly. So this is what happens across the sports, not just cricket as such. We saw how even against so for example, to give an analogy, perfect analogy, Real Madrid versus Chelsea in the quarterfinals of UCL. It's one of the most heartbreaking losses that I, as a Chelsea fan, saw. But
Hmm.
then it was the experience of Real Madrid. Real Madrid had experience, had like Benzema, Modric, Cruz, all of these people who have had tons of experience. They know the key moments,
You have to
capitalize
capture it.
capitalize on the key moments. So same thing, I believe Virat and Rohit needs to
And
do and
also
get
for
back
a
into the
fact
shape.
that there's this time, like you said, there's this one time where a player very peaks, whatever he touches turns to goal, and Josh Butler is in that phase now.
Oh
I'm
my God.
guessing, or I'm thinking that Virat Kohli is past it. There's no, it's no secret. Virat Kohli is well past that peak of his, he's peaked all his career. There are very few guys in cricket.
Probably, I don't think anyone has peaked for that much
Yeah,
period what Virat Kohli had.
Virat Kohli
Maybe
has
from that
peaked.
2012 to
8, 9,
2018,
he's
18,
been
19.
18,
You can
17,
tell
18. He's been crazy good
19 till that 6 to 7 years. He just absolutely demolished people. I
all over the
believe,
world.
especially 2000. Yeah,
Yeah,
all over the world.
there is no
But
doubt about that. But there
what
are very few
Kevin
players.
Peterson said yesterday. Yeah,
Hmm, there are
what
very few
KP said
players
yesterday. No.
who peaked all throughout the careers, like AB de Villiers, even till up until retirement, was still at the peak. So there was
Hmm.
the great Don Bradman, there's Ricky Ponting, but Virat Kohli is not the case. He's at the very, it's not even, I don't know what's the right age for him to retire. We're not the guys to
No,
talk.
no, no, no. I don't think to be honest with you, why we are telling Virat is in a bad phase, even though his numbers are significantly better than all the other batsmen that are there currently.
In the
It
Indian
is
lineup, at
because
least.
the standards he has set.
He said.
It is big. He's getting criticized only because of the standards he has set himself. So maybe that is the reason why that pressure is getting
No,
to him. Maybe
this
because
IPL has been piss poor.
no,
It's
it has
standard.
been poor. I don't disagree with it. But then I'm telling you, you go
Yeah,
back to his
overall,
look at
yes,
his numbers. The average for past 2 years, even if he has not scored a century, for
yes,
example, from
it's
past
been
two
good.
years,
It's
he's
been not great.
averaging ridiculous 45 plus, 40,
It's,
45 plus minimum in both Test and ODI. That's not a kind
it's
of
no joke.
that's not a joke for
Good,
any
good, good.
number, any batsman. Sorry. So,
But
I
like you
don't
said,
think
like,
it's
he
going to
has
be a problem.
to go to the drawing board, and although he can't be peaking, he can't be scoring hundreds at well. We'd
Hmm.
like to see him bat well. That's important. Enjoy his shot.
Hmm.
I'll be very honest. In the last after post COVID, I haven't
Hmm.
seen him enjoy his cricket at all. Maybe that one innings
Hmm.
against the CSK where ABD got out for a duck, and
Yeah,
Virat Kohli got 80 odd runs.
80
Yeah,
odd
he
runs.
was playing all around the ground and he was really enjoying running throughs and all. And post that, the last 2 years, there's no such innings that very highlightable one. He has to.
Yeah.
It's in his mind. Come on, he's a great player. He knows what he's doing. I hope he comes back strong for India's sake. Forget about RCB for once. We need him at the World Cup. Big time.
Correct. Absolutely. No doubt.
And,
So hopefully he makes a comeback. The king needs to come.
He has to. So we wouldn't mind as an RCB fan him taking a break. Yeah, it's a Big Ten. I mean, it's score-wise he hasn't scored this time, but still it's a big name. You'll never know when he could jump on and score runs.
But at least the team is doing relatively well, even without Virat. So imagine if Virat comes to the party, maybe we'll look the unstoppable force that we think we can be this season.
So yeah, like you said, it's only he can. We no guys to talk about his only thing we can talk about is the mental changes,
mental aspects of it, because that's something that we can have an opinion on most of them. But others, to his batting, I don't think we can even chat
not
to him.
credible enough to talk about it, but he'll look into it. I hope RCB management has been clown all these years. Maybe at least this time they make a very bold and very important move.
To be honest with you, I've been surprised by the management. They have done relatively more better than previous seasons with the option buys also. It looks like there's a proper team in space, with a team in place with proper. We almost like we are playing like a team. Most of them, everybody is stepping up when someone else is not stepping up. So maybe with some of the decision, if they get it right now, like for example Anuj Rawat, try and rectify VK's current form, and few here and there tweaks can make this a machine that
for sure. Only a little bit of oiling is required, and we still have a very good chance this year going around.
We are already on 10 points, so I don't think we need another maybe three wins out of the possible 6 games.
So it looks doable, but it's games like these, man. It really hurts, especially for the
confidence. The
confidence.
Beans off. Yeah,
I pity the guys who paid lots of money for the ticket and they just get to see 1.5 hours of gameplay, and especially your team's getting out for 60, and it's pathetic. These guys have to refund these posers.
If it was Chinnaswamy, it does happen sometimes even in football, for example. If the home team has done horrendously bad, what the management sometimes does is gives the ticket of that particular day of the game.
It's only fair they do that.
It's frightening. If they do it in Chinnaswamy, if it would have happened in Chinnaswamy, they would have thought about it, I guess.
It's ridiculous. You come on a weekend, you get a very good slot, evening game on a Saturday evening, and you give us this
prime time.
Good Lord. And on that, I think we've covered everything about this match and Virat Kohli. And let's look forward and see how these guys go ahead, and hope no more hiccups. That one game is done of the season, and hopefully it goes smoothly from here. And as usual, man, thanks for joining and
great to chat.
Spending a precious time. Let's talk more in the future. And guys, as well, if you like our content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And once again, thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.